Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. My name is Vinny and I'm joined with today's guests, Kerry and Paul. They're selling their Amazon FBA business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. So, welcome to the show, guys. How are both of you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Yes, I'm doing great. I'm Kerry.
Wonderful. Nice to meet both of you, and I'm really excited to talk about your FBA business. Just before we get into start talking properly, let me just give a very brief summary of the business for our listeners. So today's listing is an Amazon FBA business in the supplements niche, and it was created in September 2018. The average monthly revenue for the business is $12,881, and it makes an average of $4,804 per month in net profit. The assets included in the sale are the Amazon Seller Central account with 9 SKUs, domains and all of the site's contents and files, supplier contracts and relationships, and social media accounts. Just please be aware that inventory isn't normally included in the listing price and further details can be provided to active buyers. You can head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 50867 to learn more about the business. And if you want to start your due diligence, just remember to unlock the listing first. Okay, guys, that's just a very general overview of the business. I want to talk a bit more about yourselves, just find out about your background, really. Can both of you tell me a bit about your experience and background in building or running online businesses before you started this one?
Sure. This is Paul. I work in IT for college, and I've been in IT for over 20 years. I have many IT certifications. I knew Kerry, my partner, from another e-commerce business. And one day we just started talking about Amazon FBA. We just kind of hit it off. It all started from there. I actually started doing e-commerce using Shopify. Bought a course for $2,500, went to many webinars, created a website, did the Alibaba dropshipping research, found some, real good products, and then started selling on Shopify. I was feeling really good, following all the teachings and all. And I feel like I was going to be rich overnight. Bought all the Shopify plugins, also did all the Facebook ads campaign my coach suggested. Well, after a couple of months, I only had 2 sales. One sold to Kerry and one to another friend. Made like $10 and I already spent $3,000. The ROI was horrible. And that's when decided to look into the Amazon FBA business with Kerry, and we bought many Amazon courses, spent a lot of time and money learning how to do this Amazon business.
Yeah, that makes sense, Paul. How about yourself, Kerry?
For me, I have a biology healthcare background. I graduated from UC San Diego with a bachelor in neuroscience. I currently is working in a clinical genetic laboratory, reading patients' chromosomes day in and day out with the microscopes. But I really enjoy learning and selling on Amazon. It's a fun adventure for me. And like Paul said, we both pay for several courses and we follow different Amazon mentors to learn all about Amazons. I went to a college for biology. I did not do anything with a business background. So I'm learning everything I can. And what I'm trying to say is if a person with a biology of science degree can do Amazon business, anybody can do it.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I think both Paul sort of shared just now, if you put in the education and learn how the system works, you can leverage Amazon's marketplace and for sure create a business the pair of you have. Paul, you were mentioning about your journey and your learning experiences, especially with drop shipping, which led you to Amazon FBA. How did you come up with the idea specifically to start this business in the supplements niche?
Shopify drop shipping was a lot of work. And it was shipping from China, Alibaba. So the products take about a month to get here. And many people returned the product because they were thinking that it was going to get there soon. But this supplements, it was Kerry's idea. And then, Carrie can tell us all the benefits of hemp gummies, which is really, really good.
Right. I like the idea of selling FBA because I like the idea that I am selling a real product in hand. And I like the idea that I wake up in the morning and I can already see sales in my Amazon account. I like all that. But then I also have a science healthcare background. So I am big and particular with what goes into our body. So I do a comprehensive research with my healthcare background and I select our manufacturers carefully. And so all of our stuff is made in USA. It's safe and it helps us. And it helped me, it helped everybody, and it helped my business will grow.
Gotcha. So yeah, sounds like both of you agree that, FBA is a great business model, but the reason why you got into the supplements niche sounds like it was sort of Kerry's idea. Like you were saying there, Kerry, you found that it helped you, and then you discovered that maybe there's a need in the market for these types of supplements, which is great. When you look at the business, it's growing and it's profitable, which is great. But our listeners will be wondering, why are the pair of you selling the business right now instead of staying with it and growing it?
We're building another brand. So we're going to use the funds to build our different brand.
It's our other adventure we try to go into also.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Yeah. So yes, basically selling so you can raise capital to accelerate the growth of this other project that you've got going. Wonderful. Let me ask you guys, because I want to ask about your experience and what you learned while you're building this FBA business in particular. Is there anything that you learned while you're scaling this one that you would apply to future businesses? What did you learn that you think really just worked for you?
Yeah, we've been doing this for over 2 years, and we learned from our many Amazon FBA courses we purchased by talking with other people, learning from our coaches. Some of the things that works at Amazon PPC really works. It drives the sales and also drives the Amazon organic traffic as well, because we're paying for the pay-per-click, but every click, every time someone views that keyword, right, Amazon A9 algorithm actually keeps track of all the data. So the longer you do the PPC, it keeps track of all that. So once you start a PPC campaign, don't stop it, because either it does good or bad, you can make adjustments to it. But if you don't stop it, then all that data will add up and really apply to your products and your brand. And another thing is, actually, I did a lot of SEO, search engine optimization. And right now, we actually have many keywords on Google top 5. And then, it drives a lot of sales and searches from Google to Amazon. And every time when I check, there's only one other competitor that is on their organic. And the more thing, focus on what is working. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Keep things simple. If you have products that are selling, try to sell more of those products instead of doing new products, creating new launch campaigns. You end up just spending more time and energy, and you just tire yourself out.
Right. You focus on one product at a time. And I also think that we should leverage Amazon's system as much as possible, because we also use Amazon's early review program, Amazon's Vine program to gain proper reviews from our customers.
Yeah, these are all really great tips, guys. Like you say, no need to reinvent the wheel. If something is working, stick with it. Both of you raised some really good, mentioned some really good tips there. Kerry, you were saying about Amazon Vine program to generate some authentic early reviews when you guys were just starting. And Paul, you were saying about not giving up on your PPC campaigns, trying to accumulate that data and use SEO, which is, all great stuff. I guess on the other hand then, was there anything that you tried that didn't really give you the ROI that you were hoping for? Like, just what didn't really work?
We knew that Amazon branding was the way to go, because that gives you access to A+ content, which is, instead of just text, you could have pictures and, different things. And we all know a picture tells 1,000 words, right? Also, it gives you access to Amazon Store, which you could build an entire new website to sell your own products. But at the beginning, we hired someone who supposedly an expert do our brand name research, and ended up 2 years later, when we got our brand, someone was already registered with the name. So I highly recommend hiring an Amazon certified lawyer and just give them the $500 to do a detailed keywords research, so you don't run into the same issue that we have. And then second thing is, like I mentioned before, don't focus on too many products. If it works, then just keep building on it. And if you, right, because that's more profitable and you can help more people that way, because you'll end up just spending too much time and too much money on it, on building a new product.
And I have something to add too. In the beginning, when we are trying to create the Amazon images, we try to hire a real model and we use everything real in a real studio to take a picture. And it was quite costly. Later on, I found out that we can purchase stock photo and then use my own lighthouse to take a picture of my own products. And we can hire someone to do Photoshop job, and we can create excellent Amazon images too.
Yeah, these are all really, really great tips, especially for people who are listening in for the first time and interested about pursuing Amazon FBA as a business model. I guess just on that note then, why would you say that FBA is a great business model for people who are interested in getting started with online businesses?
Well, Amazon FBA does all the work. Like right now, all we have to do is just manage our inventory and send the products to Amazon FBA. And then Amazon takes care of the customer service and everything else. And Amazon has over 140 million prime customers. And right now, even if we stop running our PPC, our business is still selling every day. Every time when we wake up, we look at our Amazon account and things are just selling by itself. We don't have to do anything else. And because I have 2 kids, Carrie has 1, we have a family and we have full-time jobs. Hopefully this Amazon adventure will give us more financial freedom in the future.
And also due to the COVID pandemic, the trend of nowadays is e-commerce. So FBA business is definitely going to be our side.
Yeah, definitely. Makes sense. I guess just on that note then, can you describe what's the type of work that you guys do on the business on a sort of day-to-day basis just to maintain it?
For me, I do the more technical side. Basically, just right now, just manage the Ppc campaigns and then answer any questions. But right now, we probably get 1 or 2 questions from customers a week. Amazon does all the returns, RMAs, everything else already.
Right. So for me, my part is I create the listing, I create images, I contact the manufacturers for any reorders, but I only write listing once. I only create images once. Once those stuffs are in, I don't need to worry about it anymore. So for now, all I really need to worry about is reorder and replenish, which is not really a lot of work. Most of the stuff is becoming autopilots now.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure. What do you guys do in terms of marketing for the business?
Right now, we have Amazon Ppc campaigns running, and that drives sales. So we try to keep it going at all times. And the other thing is we get a lot of organic searches from Google SEO, meaning that people go to Google, search a keyword, and then our product are organic there. Not those paid advertising, but in the top 5, and people go from there and go to Amazon and purchase. Those are great because people are typing in those words. They know exactly what they are looking for. And those are really potential buyers. And then we also eBay top-rate seller also. I mean, people on eBay loves our products. We're selling a lot over there every month too.
Yeah, and we found out that actually Amazon's pay advertising works the best for us because Amazon feeds to Amazon. So whatever advertising we do, it only helps us in a positive loop.
Yeah, makes sense, guys. So it sounds like for your business in particular, PPC is particularly important because you're finding a lot of success with it. It's great to hear. Let me ask you about opportunities then. If you weren't selling the business and you stayed with it, what are some of the ways that you would try to scale it even further? What are some of the major opportunities for growth here?
There's still a lot of room to grow in this Amazon space. So one thing is to optimize the PPC campaigns. You know, even though we learn a lot through the years, there's still a lot of different techniques, a lot of different strategies in PPC that could be implemented. And also some of our products, especially one of the supplements that we created, it's a very excellent niche. And the price, our profit margins are really good from our manufacturer. But we just kind of hastily created the listing and the pictures are not the best. Also, the A+ content are not the best. So if we want to grow, this has the potential to even be better than hemp gummies that we're selling right now. And if we do change the pictures up, rewrite the listing, redo the A+ content, and run PPC campaigns. Also, if we add on Amazon coupon, I feel like within a couple months, this product could be our best seller.
Right. And I wanted to add in that sometimes I think we need to let the professionals to do some of the professional jobs. Like one of the products, we should hire a professional designer to design the label for the supplements that Paul was talking about. I was feeling confident to do this on my own, but later on I realized some of the stuff we need to let the professionals to do it. And so we can have a better result too.
I have one more thing to add. So to have a successful launch, one thing that we learned is also do a split testing. But again, that takes time and money.
Yeah, you're all definitely valuable tips you're throwing out there for sure. Split testing is super important. And Kerry, you raise a good point as well about leaving the professionals to do their job. If you know that something needs to be done and maybe you don't have the skill set to do it, it's probably worth hiring someone who is good at it so that you can make sure it gets done properly. Obviously, all businesses have risks with them. What would you say are some of the risks with this FBA business that a buyer should be aware of?
The number one thing that we learn is abide by the Amazon terms of service. The Amazon is a very profitable business, but they are also very strict with the customer data. So I would suggest not to try anything borderline. Right now, our business is running great and we don't have to do much. And nowadays it's better than ever, So just leave it the way it is. Terry, do you have anything to add?
I also think that product research, finding the perfect product that doesn't have too much downsides, people cannot find any problems or flaws with the products, is number one way not to prevent any failure. If your products are wonderful, if your manufacturers are excellent, then you can do all the work to promote this one product to page one. But if your product has flaws in it, if your manufacturer are not doing a good job, then no matter what you do, the listing is going to fall off from page one.
Yeah, makes sense. So any e-commerce business obviously, has the risk of not performing if your products aren't selling right. So yeah, you make a good point there, Kerry, about making sure that you do your due diligence with your product research, so to make sure that if you're adding new products, then that you get the really good ones.
Right. If you have a good product, you need to have a good manufacturer to support you. It goes all side by side, hand in hand.
That's a really good point, yeah. Making sure that the supplier as well is also reliable and obviously give you good prices as well. And obviously, Paul, like you said, just making sure you don't break those Amazon's terms and conditions, because otherwise they could shut down your account and stuff. Just last few questions really from me, guys. How much support are you offering buyers?
We offer the standard 1-month email support and 2 Skype calls. But if a buyer needs more support than that, we're open to it.
No problem.
Great to hear. Are you both willing to commit to a non-compete?
Yes.
Great. And are you open to negotiating something like an earn-out?
We're open to cash up front, but yes, we're flexible. It would depend on the situation and, the buyer.
Okay, that's good to hear. I mean, really, last question from myself. If you put yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think that this is an FBA business that's worth buying?
Because what small businesses are dying, and with Joe Biden raising the minimum wage to $15, it makes traditional small businesses even worse. And with Amazon FBA model, feel like if me and Kerry can do it, anyone can do it, because I have a full-time job. Kerry has a full-time job. I have a family and 2 kids. And the competitors like Walmart Plus, Target, Etsy, but they're just playing catch up with Amazon. But having said that, because we are private label supplements, right, there's opportunity there to go to Walmart Plus, and you can even negotiate with Walmart to sell in Walmart stores as well.
Right. Especially with the COVID pandemic right now, I think e-commerce is really the way to go. And then we can take advantage of a strong giant like Amazon. But by selling on Amazon, we can have our piece of pie there too. I can have my full-time job Paul can have his full-time job. Meanwhile, we're still running this business. It's not like we're working until 12 o'clock every night. We still have our life going. And especially this account, it's all set up. The images are done. The listing are done. The Ppc campaign are stabilizing. We have plenty of reviews too. So when the buyers buy this account is pretty much autopilot already.
Yeah, great answers, guys. Is there anything that you'd like to share that you think I might have missed during the interview?
We have 9 SKUs. 3 of them are actually FBM, fulfilled by merchant. And then the selling on eBay is also fulfilled by merchant, meaning that we have to print out the labels and drop them off at the USPS. But it only takes a few minutes because you just print out the label, slap it on the box, and then you go to the U.S. Postal Office, right? They have an area where you just open the box and put your shipping in there, and it doesn't take that much time. And another thing because we're selling gummies, right? During the summertime, Amazon considers many products have melting issues, like gummies, chocolates, many different products, because many of the Amazon warehouse, believe it or not, are not properly AC. So fulfilled by merchant during the summer. But believe it or not, the fulfilled by merchant, our profits actually go up because Amazon charges less fees than FBA because they're not handling the shipping. And then people on eBay loves our products too.
Right. So during the summer, a lot of the sellers with any meltables like chocolates, gummies, anything that possibly may melt, Amazon do not allow us to send those into the fulfillment centers. So during the summertime, we do the fulfillment by ourselves, and then our business just is as good. Paul and I help each other. He does a day and I do another day. It's very easy.
Right. And one more thing I want to add is Carrie found this manufacturer supplements. Oh, they have like hundreds of products. And they also have an in-house design team that could help anyone with the label designs, graphic designs, and so on. And they have different colors of bottles, different shapes and sizes, so you could stay competitive. They are not just a supplier, because a supplier just distributes and sells you the product. But a manufacturer, you could actually customize your products, and you even have a choice to customize your own formula also if you choose. So that to our success, that's one of the big factors is having this, manufacturer in USA.
Right. That's one of our biggest secret weapon, our manufacturer. Having a good manufacturer on our back to support us is one of our reasons for our success. I have one more thing to add. Sometimes Amazon Fulfillment Center is very unreliable. They take a long time to check in our inventory. By having the option of FBM, we can check in at the time when the Amazon Fulfillment Center is taking too long to admit our inventory. Then we can still keep our listing up on the page 1.
So what many people don't realize is when you send in the product to Amazon warehouse, to FBA, right? It goes to one warehouse. But in order for Amazon to the 2-day Prime, they will transfer your product to DC's distribution centers all throughout the country. And that could take days, sometimes weeks, and sometimes months because they're so busy and all that. So having an FBM as an option, especially if you're doing a product launch, okay, the quickest way to test it out is FBM. Meaning that if you have the product, you can create a listing right and start selling like today. You don't have to wait until your product goes to FBA. So you could even test it out right away. See people like it, how are the customers reacting to it? Is this a product that I want to, spend more money and time on it? Or do I want to discontinue and try something else?
Right. That way we don't have to depend on Amazon's check-in. We can help ourselves to keep our listing up in the page 1.
Yeah, really great tips, guys. Definitely around the inventory management and the nuances of working with Amazon, and especially with the FBM side of things as well. So I think your experience will definitely come handy during the seller support that you guys are willing to offer. So yeah, thanks, Paul and Kerry, for joining me in today's interview. I hope that your FBA business gets picked up by the right buyer in the very near future.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vinny.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 50867. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. And once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.